From the sun-scorched deserts of California to the frozen wilderness of Alaska, the United States is home to a breathtaking landscape of giants. These mountains don't just shape our skylines, they define the very limits of human endurance and inspire our greatest adventures. They are the ultimate test of will, where nature's raw power meets our unyielding spirit. Today, we're going on a vertical journey, ranking every major mountain in the United States by its towering height. The US boasts over 90 peaks that soar above 14,000 feet, affectionately known as V14ers. These colossal formations are concentrated in states like Colorado, California, and of course the titan-filled expanses of Alaska. Each one presents a unique challenge, from gentle slopes to treacherous, ice-covered faces. So, grab your gear as we start our ascent from the base of this incredible list, climbing our way to the very roof of North America. Let's start our climb with number 10, Mount Whitney. Standing proud at 14,505 feet in California's Sierra Nevada, it holds the title of the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States, the lower 48. For many adventurers, Whitney is a bucket list peak. A well-maintained trail leads to its summit, making it one of the more accessible high-altitude climbs in the country. But don't let that fool you. The mountain is notorious for its savage, unpredictable weather. Sunny skies can turn into a raging blizzard in minutes, trapping unsuspecting hikers. Its accessibility is a double-edged sword, attracting thousands each year, but also contributing to a tragic number of accidents and fatalities due to altitude sickness and sudden storms. Climbing Whitney isn't just a hike, it's a lesson in respecting the mountain's power. Next, at number 9, we travel to the heart of the Rockies. At 14,440 feet, Mount Elbert is the highest peak in this legendary mountain range and the second highest in the lower 48. Located in Colorado, Elbert is often described as a gentle giant. Compared to other 14ers, its standard route is a relatively straightforward, non-technical hike. This makes it a popular goal for aspiring mountaineers looking to bag their first major summit. However, like all high peaks, Elbert demands respect. The weather can change in a heartbeat. Afternoon thunderstorms are a serious threat, rolling in with terrifying speed and bringing lightning, hail, and dramatic temperature drops. The key to a safe Elbert summit is an early start and an even earlier descent, getting off the mountain before the afternoon drama unfolds. Just a stone's throw from Elbert in Colorado's Sawatch Range is our number 8, Mount Massive. Living up to its name, this behemoth stands at 14,428 feet. What truly sets Massive apart isn't just its height, but its sprawling, broad summit ridge that stretches for over 3 miles and contains 5 distinct summits, all over 14,000 feet. It has the largest area above 14,000 feet of any mountain in the lower 48, making you feel like you're walking on top of the world. Climbing Massive is a long, strenuous day that tests your endurance. While the standard routes are not technically difficult, the sheer scale of the mountain can be physically and mentally draining. It's a true test of stamina, rewarding climbers with unparalleled panoramic views of the surrounding peaks. Swinging over to a different part of Colorado's Sawatch Range, we find our number 7, Mount Harvard. At 14,421 feet, it's the crown jewel of the Collegiate Peaks, a group of mountains named after prestigious universities. Mount Harvard stands tall and proud, offering a challenging but rewarding climb. The standard route involves a lengthy approach and significant elevation gain, making for a very long day. But the real danger here, common to many Colorado peaks, is lightning. The Collegiate Peaks are notorious for attracting severe electrical storms, especially during the summer monsoon season. Climbers must be vigilant, constantly watching the sky and prepared to turn back immediately at the first sign of threatening clouds. Reaching the summit of Harvard is a true achievement, but getting down safely is the real victory. Now for number 6, a mountain of an entirely different nature. Mount Rainier. Towering 14,511 feet over Washington state, Rainier is not just a mountain, it's an active stratovolcano. It is the most glaciated peak in the contiguous U.S., with 25 major glaciers blanketing its slopes. This makes it a world-class training ground for mountaineers preparing for Himalayan expeditions. But this beauty hides immense danger. Climbing Rainier is a serious undertaking, requiring technical skills in glacier travel, crevasse rescue, and ice climbing. The mountain has claimed over 400 lives, with hazards ranging from avalanches and rockfall to extreme weather, and looming over it all is the constant quiet threat of a future eruption, which could trigger catastrophic mudflows, or lahars, endangering the communities below. Rainier is a majestic, yet menacing force of nature. So far, we've explored the titans of the lower 48. But to find the true giants of the United States, we must journey north, to the wild, untamed wilderness of Alaska. This is where the scale changes dramatically. The mountains here are bigger, colder, more remote, and infinitely more dangerous. The top 5 highest peaks in the U.S. are all found in this last frontier, and they represent the pinnacle of North American mountaineering. Our Alaskan journey begins with number 5, Mount Fairweather. True to its ironic name, this 15,325-foot peak is anything but fair. Straddling the border between Alaska and British Columbia, it is battered by some of the most brutal weather on the planet. Storms from the Gulf of Alaska slam into its slopes with incredible force, dumping hundreds of inches of snow and creating whiteout conditions that can last for weeks. Due to its extreme remoteness and horrific weather, Fairweather is one of the least climbed major peaks in North America. Successfully summiting this mountain requires not just skill and strength, but an incredible amount of luck and a long window of stable, clear conditions, a true rarity in this part of the world. Next on our list, at number 4, is Mount Hubbard. This colossal peak reaches 14,151 feet and sits directly on the Alaska-Canada border, marking a corner of the international boundary. Like its neighbors, Hubbard is a remote and formidable objective. Its sheer size and isolation mean that expeditions are major undertakings, requiring airdrops for supplies and a deep commitment of time. The mountain is heavily glaciated and presents significant objective hazards, including avalanches and unstable ice seracs. It's a place of profound solitude where climbers are utterly alone, hundreds of miles from the nearest road. Mount Hubbard remains a pristine and rarely touched giant, a testament to the raw, untamed power of the Alaskan wilderness. Coming in at number 3 is another remote Alaskan giant, Mount Bear. At 14,131 feet, Mount Bear is located deep within the Wrangell-St. Elias National Park, one of the most isolated and rugged mountain ranges on Earth. This peak is the definition of off the beaten path. It sees very few climbers, and much of its terrain remains largely unexplored. Expeditions to Mount Bear are logistical nightmares, demanding bush plane access and complete self-sufficiency in a brutally unforgiving environment. The climbing itself is steep and challenging on vast, fractured glaciers. Mount Bear represents the spirit of pure exploration, a chance to venture into a part of the world that has been seen by only a handful of humans, a truly wild and untouched sanctuary of ice and rock. Now, we breach the 18,000-foot mark with our runner-up, the incredible number 2, Mount St. Elias. Soaring to 18,008 feet, it's the second highest peak in both the United States and Canada. What makes St. Elias truly mind-boggling is its vertical relief. It erupts straight out of the ocean, rising from sea level to its summit in just 10 miles. This is one of the steepest and most dramatic rises on the entire planet. Climbing this mountain is a monumental challenge, notorious for its relentless avalanches that thunder down its colossal faces. The weather is savage, the logistics are immense, and the dangers are constant. Mount St. Elias is not just a climb, it's a battle against one of the most formidable and violent mountains in the world. And finally, we have reached the summit of our list, the undisputed king of North America, the highest point on the continent, number 1, Denali. Formerly known as Mount McKinley, this Alaskan behemoth stands at a staggering 20,310 feet. But its official height doesn't tell the whole story. Denali's base to summit rise is actually greater than Mount Everest's. It creates its own weather system, with winds that can exceed 150 miles per hour and temperatures that plummet to a life-threatening minus 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The climbing season is short, and the success rate hovers around only 50%. Climbers must carry heavy loads, navigate treacherous glaciers riddled with hidden crevasses, and endure weeks of extreme cold and punishing storms. Denali is the ultimate prize in North American mountaineering, a place that tests the absolute limits of human physiology and resolve. From Whitney to Denali, these mountains are more than just geological formations. They are the guardians of our landscape, the creators of weather, and the keepers of a wild spirit that calls to the adventurer in all of us. They challenge us, humble us, and ultimately, they connect us to something far greater than ourselves. They remind us that in this vast, powerful world, the higher we climb, the smaller we realize we are. Thanks for joining us on this incredible ascent. If you enjoyed this journey to the top of America, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.